Hi my lovelies, welcome back to another makeup video. So today I have a very exciting eyeshadow palette review for you. It is Patrick Ta's new Major Dimensions 2 Rose Palette. So I will do a full review and a tutorial showing this gorgeous eye look. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this palette, just keep watching. So you guys, I did not buy Patrick Ta's first palette, the Major Dimension 1 palette. That was more of a neutral, sort of brown, tan kind of tones palette, which I was very intrigued by, but for some reason I just didn't pick it up. But when I saw this palette come out, I told myself, you're gonna pick this one up. I need to see how good it is because I've been hearing so many good things about it. So it has this beautiful mirrored finish, and here is the color story, which is really beautiful. It's kind of a, you know, these colors, lights are kind of washing it out, but it's a mauvey, rosy color story with a pop of slightly coral-ish terracotta type of shadows, but overall this color story leans very kind of cool toned, which I love, which is one of the reasons why I really wanted to pick it up, because I don't have that many beautiful cool tone palettes other than a couple of Natasha Denona ones that I really absolutely love. And I like the fact that he put two cream shadows in this palette. These two right here on the end are cream eyeshadows, and they're protected with this flap, which keeps the powder shadows from getting on the cream shadows and ruining them, which I think is really nice. I know that his blush palettes, you know, the cream and powder blushes that he has in his blush palette, he also has a flap like this to cover the cream blushes to protect them. And I gotta tell you guys, I will do swatches at the end of this video, but I have to show you just how gorgeous these shadows are, these shimmer ones especially. There's something very glistening, three-dimensional about these shadows. I will, like I said, I'm gonna do swatches at the end of the video if you want to see how they look on my arm. And these matte shadows are no joke also. I mean, they are pretty nice, and I'll tell you my thoughts at the end of the video, and you'll hear about what I love about these matte shadows and the shimmer shadows at the end of the video. So let's jump right into the tutorial. So I'm gonna go in with this color, and I'm going to put it in my crease. It's going to be a little bit above the crease. So I'm going to start a little higher than my actual crease. Like this. It's a nice pigmented crease color that would actually be a good transition shade for many skin tones. I'm going to go into the next deep shade right there, next to the shade that I already used. Now this one I'm going to put right in my crease, just right in the crease. And as I sweep it over to the outer corner, I'm going to go into small circular motions like that, and then I'm going to sweep it over, then I'm going to sweep it back over like that. Then I'm going to take my big paddle brush like this, and I'm going to go into this really deep chocolate brown shade right next to the cream eyeshadow. That's pretty much the deepest shade in here, that's matte. And then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to deposit it right on the outer corner, just like this, on a kind of a diagonal shape. but I'm not going to really move the brush much. I'm just depositing it like that. Yeah, I know it looks crazy now without it being blended, but it's gonna look nice. Just trust the process. Now I'm going to take my trusty Sonia G Blender Pro, which I love to use to deposit shimmer shades with. And then I'm gonna go into this darkest shimmer shade right here, again next to the cream shadows there. And I'm gonna pick it up and I'm going to put it right here where I deposited that dark matte shade on the outer corner. Just right a little bit inwards from it, again on a diagonal shape. I'm gonna put it right there next to the dark shadow there. Do you see how it's creating a gradient? That's what we want. I'm going to go into this shade right here, and then I'm going to pick it up with the same Sonia G brush. I'm gonna put that. Ooh, wow, that one is really cool. Very, very reflective. Nice shimmer. Wow. Very, very, very nice. So I'm going to put this on center lid and bring it almost to the inner corner like that. And the one thing about this Sonia G brush, you guys, that I love the most is that it deposits shadows like your finger would, you know, like it would with your finger. It's so awesome. And you can go into the corners of the eye and everything and not worry about it getting on anything, unlike your fingers, you know. Okay, now I'm going to take my small tiny brush here again. This is Sonia G, I believe, yes. And then I'm going to go into this shade, which seems to be like duochrome. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's like right next to the shadow I just used. It's got a greenish reflect, so I'm gonna use that right on the inner corner there, like that. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a green purple kind of reflect, so I'm just gonna go, yeah, use that in the inner corner. Now I'm going to use the other side of that same brush and go into this shade right here in the very corner, the last shimmer on the other corner across from the cream shadows. I'm going to put that right under the brow bone, on the brow bone, under the eyebrows. All right. That looks beautiful. And now I'm going to go on to the lower lash line. I'm going to use my flat definer brush. I'm going to go into that darkest shade here next to the cream shadow. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it on the lower lash line, on the outer part, and bring it in a little bit. And now I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here, and I'm going to kind of smoke that out a little bit, not a lot, just a little. Wow, you guys, I mean, I gotta say the shimmers look really pretty. Very, very nice. It's different kind of shimmer from what I've seen, you know, from other brands like Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath. Now I'm going to put on my wing liner and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my wing liner. Now I'm going to curl my lashes, put on mascara and my lashes on. I'll be right back. It looks so nice with the lashes on. I still have one more thing to do. I'm going to take a tiny brush like this. I'm going to use the darker one right there. And I'm going to put it on my waterline. I mean, these cream shadows can be used in many ways. You can use it as a base, you can use it to create a liner, you can use it on your waterline. So there are different uses for that. But the main use I think he intended was to use it as a base. Now I'm going to pull you guys back. I'm going to put some lip liner and lipstick on. Okay, that's the lipstick, which really complements this eye look. So this is the final look, and I think it came out really beautifully. I have heard many people say that the formulas in this palette, especially the shimmer ones, they're not as hard pressed as the first palette. That's what I heard, and that the formula has improved even more. This color story, you guys, I just absolutely love this color story because it's kind of like a rosy mauve-y color story with a little pop of sort of coral terracotta kind of colors. The first one was mainly like nudes and browns, that kind of shades. This one is definitely leaning very cool toned. Again, that's one of the reasons why I picked it up, because I don't have too many cool tone palettes. I loved when Natasha Denona came out with that retro palette, because that was like one of the best cool tone palettes that I have. And also the other one she came out with, what was it, Glam, you know, Natasha Denona came out with a couple of really nice cool tone palettes. So those are all I have for cool tone palettes, other than a few of my Tom Ford quads. So I wanted to pick this one up because this is a rose toned color story with cool toned shadows. And I love this cream shadows here, this idea of it. I need to create a look with the cream shadows as a base, which, you know, should be really nice as well. And he has the same sort of flap in his blush palettes, with where you get the cream and powder blushes. So this is what the swatches look like. As you can see, they're really beautiful and glistening, just like they look on the eyelids. The shimmer shades, the mattes are very nice and pigmented, not very dusty. They don't fly everywhere. I saw little to absolutely no fallout. I would say no fallout at all. It's a really good shadow palette. I would highly recommend it. I hope you had a chance to pick this palette up during the Sephora VIB sale. It's definitely a very lovely palette. I would highly recommend it. It looks actually, the shimmers look very sultry in my opinion. Something about the formula is very different from what I have seen before. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell right next to it for all notifications, not just some, so that you will never miss any of my videos. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I post pretty much everything, you know, from makeup to fragrances to fashion to lifestyle content. I will see you in my next video.